Hi guys, welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot, and my name is Louise. I'm going to be doing a tarot reading today. It's going to be a pick a card, and if you haven't seen my previous videos, I usually do kind of more of like a face-to-face, more personal reading, but I think, in my opinion, these are a lot more enjoyable to watch. So this is what I mostly watch, so I'm going to be making this kind of content from now on. And as we go forward, this is what you'll get from me. So I hope you enjoy it. First of all, happy October. Halloween is here soon. I hope you have a Halloween costume planned, and if not, I know also there are a lot of really cool like last minute costumes you could make. I'm dressing up as a raccoon this year. I don't know exactly what it's gonna be, but like raccoon something. Maybe he's dressed up as something. Okay, so enough babbling. The topic today is going to be, what choice are you struggling with right now? And what guidance does Spirit have for you? Your spirit team, your higher self, what guidance do they have for you? So, I have all of these little trinkets, I guess you could call them. This one, they're all costume jewelry, actually. I think they're from the 80s, plated in gold. So that's super cool. But the actual components are like glass and stuff. So anyway, here's your first one. This one is like a pearlescent piece. It's a brooch. Very pretty. Looks kind of like a UFO. Pile 2. It's got this like this fake technique that they used to use on a lot of like antique jewelry. I don't remember now what it's called. Milgrain. That's what it's called. And then this one looks kind of like celestial, I guess, like the moons. So pick your pile and we'll get started. Also, when you pick your pile, skip to the timestamp down below and then we'll skip to your pile. All right, see you at your pile. Apologies if you can hear any background noise, by the way. But I'm going to do a little bit of shuffling in between. So let's shuffle for pile number 1. Could you give me information about what choice are they struggling with and what guidance does Spirit have for them? What choice are they struggling with? And guidance from Spirit, please. What choice are they struggling with right now? I think that's it for this one. Okay, so we'll put that one there. Let's get... Could I get some cards about what choice are they struggling with right now? What choice are they struggling with? Okay, I think that's enough for that one. What guidance does Spirit have for them? I'm not sure where to put these. Let's just put them right here. Okay. Do this one. What choice are you struggling with? And what guidance does Spirit have for you? Okay, that was fast. All right, so this is going to be for pile number 1. Pile number 2. What choice are they struggling with, and what guidance does Spirit have for them? For pile number 2. Pile number 2. What choice are you struggling with right now? I feel another one. Okay, perfect. What choice are they struggling with right now for pile number 2? What choice are they struggling with at this moment? What choice are they struggling with right now? That was interesting. Sometimes when I'm doing these, when I'm like pre-shuffling, I get like certain feelings that give me a hint about what's going on in the energy, which is kind of cool. Oh, that's a lot. All right, well, we'll keep it. And last but not least, what guidance does Spirit have for pile number 2? What guidance does pile number 2 get from Spirit? What do they want to tell pile number 2? And I feel this one. Okay, perfect. All right. And we didn't do that one, did we? We did. Okay. What choice are you struggling with, and what guidance does Spirit have for you, pile number 2? What choice are you struggling with, and what guidance does Spirit have for you? What choice are you struggling with, and what guidance does Spirit have for you? Okay, that is pile number 2 done. And then we're going to do pile number 3, and we'll start the reading. Just going to move this. Okay, pile number 3. What choice are you struggling with, and what guidance does Spirit have for you? Wow, okay. We got the cards right away. It's very fast fast movement, I feel like. The second one is this one. What choice are you struggling with right now? What choice are you struggling with right now? Wow, this one feels very fast. This pile feels very fast. Pile number 3, what guidance does Spirit have for you? Pile number 3, too many, please. Try again. What guidance do you have for pile number 3, Spirit? What guidance do you have for pile number 3? Any more? I definitely feel like there is more. Okay, that's what I thought. There are 2 more. Alright, and last but not least, let's do this one. What are they struggling with right now for pile number 3, and what guidance does Spirit have for them? Okay. This is a lot, but I will take it. Should I take it? It's 4. Sure. Alright. Thank you for sticking around if you watched that. Obviously, if you're here now, you did watch it. Thank you. I will set this aside here. All right, pile number 1. This was your beautiful brooch. And your reading, it feels like you're kind of struggling with embracing, like the choice to embrace some sort of new identity. So there's like a little bit of an identity crisis. There's residual energy from like a past chapter that is sort of, I wouldn't say plaguing you, but it's definitely making it difficult for you to fully celebrate who it is that you've stepped into. Like, you've already stepped into this new energy with the Strength and the 6 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. It's like you have this momentum that it seems like you're having this like start stop. And maybe this is something that you've struggled with in the past, and so it's like this old identity that, or part of your identity that's kind of sticking to you. With the wolf and the lion here, it's like you've been through something that really caused you to have to believe in yourself. That's what I'm getting with the wolf and the lion. Because there's the expression of like a lone wolf. And a lone wolf, wolves come in packs, like they ride in packs. Was it alone or in a pack? Exactly. I didn't even read that before. But that's what we think of when we think of a wolf. So, and I'm also getting the message of like you're having to also integrate yourself into a community, and that could be very difficult for you. because before you've had to figure everything out on your own. You couldn't rely on other people. And so this new person that you're having to become, it's almost like you need your pack to come ride with you again, because the old pack that you got kicked out of, it's like they're not there anymore. And like that's a really good thing that they're not there anymore, because in the past, when you were, see it says, was the wolf strong or weak? And I think that has a lot to do with who's around you. They say the kinds of people that you surround yourself with really have the possibility of either lifting you up or dragging you down. And I think in this instant, it's like you're almost like resisting this like new pack that you're part of. It's really difficult for you to see yourself as them. Maybe you really like admire the people that you're around. They're very, like, this is like a description of them. Like, they're very strong, independent people on their own. In a way, they're very much like you. They're focused on like the growth mentality. They're focused on succeeding at whatever it is that they put their mind to. And they're not comparing themselves to each other. Whereas your past wolf pack or whatever you were a part of, they would compare each other to each other, right? And it kind of gave that whole crabs in a bucket thing too, because then what if one crab is, like stronger than the other crabs? Then the other crabs start to pull it back down because, oh, you can't be better than me. And that's sort of like the downside of being a competitive person. It can have its like its negative effects on people, and I think it's still kind of lingering in your energy. So you're kind of like on defense about that. So what specifically, what choice? Because I feel like it's not just that. I feel like it's some sort of choice specifically that you're dealing with right now. Let me think for a moment. I think that when I look at this Eight of Wands and this home here, you're facing a really bittersweet moment right now where things are lining up for you, but you're seeing that you're going to have to leave behind a previous grouping of people that made you feel weak instead of strong. And you're struggling with the fact that you have to come to accept all of this. And it means traveling away from this group. Because this group only sees you as competition, but not in a good way. Like, they will drag you down any moment that they see you doing well, so you can't actually share your wins with them. And so let's move on to the guidance. So what is the guidance in this situation? The guidance is to allow these people to feel their pain in watching you succeed. Like, succeed regardless of the fact that it hurts them. For some reason, this past group of people, or this past experience that you had, it felt like it was really keeping you back from expressing the beautiful person that you are here, because you got the star. And like you want to live life so freely and abundantly. And you don't want to feel bad about having this abundance. So letting go of all of those hurts is really at the core of what you're needing to do right now. Allowing those past experiences to become a part of your past. And I didn't even notice that there's a woman here on the bottom of the card. But she's crying. It's like this one, he's kind of like pushing away, like pushing his face away and, gripping at his side. Like, oh, it's painful, but I don't want to look at it. And then she's just full on crying. And to me, this is you. Whether you're female or male, I see these as two figures that are the same person. It's like you're willing to accept the situation for what it is. And I just got the song Dead and Gone in my head. And I'm not really entirely sure what the lyrics are, but I just got that one line where it's like, it's dead and gone, dead and gone. And keep focusing on the abundance that you have. Because like we said earlier, there's this new pack that you're part of or going to be a part of. And they're going to embrace you fully as you are. They'll be able to really see your true self and encourage you to fly to your fullest potential and to not hold back. And we also got these 3 cards here that I didn't have space for. So these were just kind of like an added thing, because I feel like our relationships can be to so many different things. Like they could be to ourselves, to each other, they could be to our lives. Relationships don't have to be exclusively like love. So you got, I can't let go of you. I need to figure myself out. And why is it that you love me? Someone here can't let go of you. Or maybe you can't let go of someone, or you're struggling to let go of them because they hold such significance in your life, in terms of like nostalgia. But you need to figure yourself out. Like you need to have space to breathe, to express yourself, to not worry about judgment. I'm getting heavy judgment from this. It's like someone who can't let go of you, but also like can't let go of this like past version of you. So they don't accept this new version that you're presenting to them. But they also won't allow you to even present this new version of yourself. Why is it that you love me? This gives me the idea of like this person that like quote unquote loves you, or this group of old people that really love you, like they don't love the new person that you are. They have a problem with it. Or it's not even that they have a problem with it, but they're confusing the old you with the new you. Like they don't actually know the new you. And it's very shocking to them. Because the old you would have accepted so little and been okay with it. They would have accepted pain, betrayal, petty jabs, because that was like a way of communication with each other. Hurting each other was like just par for core. Is that what the expression is? where it's like it's just part of what you do in these relationships, in this wolf pack. You bite each other and you go back to you bite each other, you cry on your separate ends, you don't talk about it, and then you come back together and you repeat the cycle. But you've realized at some point here in the recent past that one isn't what you want, and two, that's not what love should be. You don't want to keep perpetuating that because it's like a waste of your energy. You want to, your goal here as a person is, so this is, oh my gosh, I'm getting so much information. Okay, so one thing at a time. So you have this certain kind of personality that hasn't suited this group for a very long time. Maybe it was that you grew a lot. Maybe you separated for a little bit, came back together. And a group of people can be, two or more. It doesn't have to be three or more. And when you came back, it was just not the same. Like, you didn't feel the same way about them. Like, you had a new perspective about the relationship, and it just felt really weird. And I'm getting like bitter resentment from both sides. It's like one of you resents the other for this or that, like whatever it is. Like, maybe one person is constantly behaving in a certain way and they refuse to change. Or maybe the other is like expressing themselves in a way that feels really beautiful and abundant, and it bugs the other person. Also, I'm getting also that you're struggling really to step into this abundance because it comes with a lot of attack. It comes with a lot of opposition to be abundant. And I think that's just kind of like something that we know as people, and that's why also a lot of us are scared to step into that, because we're afraid of the what if. We're afraid of, if I get this abundance, will someone come and try to take it from me, right? If I climb all these mountains and I get all these things, these accolades, these accomplishments, and it becomes obvious, are people immediately going to try to take my victory from me? I get the image of like a cactus in my head. You're like a cactus that can just survive anywhere. Or maybe this is what you've become. You've become this cactus that can survive anywhere, regardless of how much it's watered. But you're starting to flower now, and you need proper nutrition, you need proper fertilizer, you need certain kinds of things in order to make those flowers continue to bloom. Because it takes that extra energy to do that. It takes extra energy to bloom, you have to nourish yourself, and so you're struggling with, it feels like you're trying to do two things at once. And when I'm reading this, it feels like you're trying to do two things at once. You're trying to keep people, you're trying to stop people from getting hurt from your transition. So, people pleasing, right? I mean, I struggle with that, so don't get offended if I'm saying this, right? Because I totally understand. you're trying to people please while at the same time please yourself and grow. But the thing is that there's going to be certain kinds of things that you have to say and do in order to fully step into who it is that you want to be. Because it looks like here you're destined for greatness. You're destined to become this really incredible person that, I mean, you're already that person, but it's like you're struggling to express it. It's an adjustment. So what is it? Any other messages? I'll do it like this. Any other messages for my collective here? I'm just going to pull some cards from my hand-drawn deck here. Spiritual inheritance. Your spirit guides have been, higher self, whatever you believe in, you've been guided towards something here that was for you only when you were ready for it. And now that you're ready for it, you're almost having a hard time accepting the grandness of like what this is, you know? Maybe people are projecting onto you because we get this like juxtaposition, like spiritual inheritance, where it's like it feels very abundant, and then broke, like the opposite thing. People are projecting onto you that basically what they think about their own lives. And I've seen drug now 3 times. Below it, evil. A lot of people right now are really invested in watching you grow. And some of them might be projecting a lot of evil eye onto you right now as you're growing, because they don't want you to succeed more than they did. This is this old wolf pack. If you've been feeling this is confirmation that this is what they've been doing. They've been projecting it subconsciously or consciously onto you. That, you know, they hope for the worst for you, basically. And unfortunately, that's what some people do. But it's also like, I think this coming out also tells us that you could be healing a lot of ancestral trauma around money. Like, your ancestors might have not had a lot of money. Maybe your past, like all of your ancestors were very poor. And so you're elevating to the next level so that you can really but like, you can heal that. You can heal that for the future generations. And it's not an evil thing. Money is not evil. But some people are scared of that. Some people are very scared of being corrupted by money. There's one more here. Dog eat dog. You know, I'm getting that whoever this past group is, I don't think they're necessarily bad people or intentionally trying to hurt you. It's just that they come from a different paradigm. One where people are dog eat dog, you know, if they have money, then they're an evil person. For sure, they're corrupted, right? And all the rest of us are broke. And, you know, we're happy although we're broke. And you don't follow the same kind of thinking that they do, you you're really happy, and you understand that people might come for you, but at the end of the day, like, you're protected. You can feel it from a mile away when someone's just projecting onto you, and I think that you're aware that someone here or this past group is just projecting onto you, and that it's not none of your business what they think, in a way. But it is your business to kind of create more boundaries between you two, and I think that's something that you're struggling with right now, and your advice from Spirit. And honestly, I think you already know this. It's just that you're going through that because it's just hard. It's hard and it's gradual. It's not something that you do right away because, for whatever reason, these people that you're trying to let go of, they have their claws in you in a way. Like, they're very enmeshed with you and your life. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you for being here. And if this is where I leave you, goodbye. And I also have some private readings that I do, and from now on they will be in this format with just like my hands. All the prices can be found out by emailing me. My email is down below, and I also have a merch store open now, so that's exciting if you want to go check it out. And if not, I am so happy that you were here. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, pile number 2. You picked this beautiful clip-on earring. So, we're asking today, what choice are you struggling with right now, and what guidance does Spirit have for you? You're releasing baggage. Because we did get luggage, but it also says, what did the bags contain? So you're releasing some really heavy baggage from the past in order to be able to step into your abundance. From what I can see, you've gained a lot of experience from these experiences. You've gained a lot of skill, is what I mean. Because it was very challenging. You've had to you went from being very naive to realizing when to fold your cards and when to play your cards, when to place a bet. You know, I get all these analogies of like playing cards. So either you're maybe you play cards, or maybe this is just, I get that song like know when to fold them. I don't know what the song is, but it's like, maybe you know what I'm talking about. I think it's like a country song. It's like an old country song. Whatever the case, you've gained some sort of understanding of who you are internally. And it's given you your throne back. Because I feel like you've almost realized your true potential, your true strength in many different aspects. And it's allowed you to be able to protect yourself in situations and take back your power. You've even, I can see, allowed people to dig their own hole. Now, why are we mentioning this? I do feel like there's a little bit of guilt here that you feel. Maybe there's guilt. I do feel like there's a little bit of guilt here in becoming strong, in having to move on, in having to say what you had to say. Youth, and I guess a lot of society expects each other to be influenced by each other and kind of just do what everybody else is doing, like that sheep mentality. And you almost feel guilty that you can't take everyone along because you're here saying, I don't know if you can see this. It says missing a ride. Was it your fault? Who or what caused the problem? It's like you're surrounded by these like problems of the past, and you know that like you weren't maybe entirely at fault. Maybe you had something to play, like some like role to play in these relationships. Obviously, everyone does. And now I'm getting like, okay, the reason I'm pausing right now is because I'm getting like doubt. I'm getting self-doubt, which totally aligns with what you're kind of experiencing here. I'm getting a lot of self-doubt in, did I do the right thing? Did I say the right thing? And yes, you did. And it might have hurt people to hear the truth. And yeah, maybe you could have said it a little less harshly. But at the same time, someone had to tell them the truth. So I can see here with the Five of Swords that you did approach this very strategically. You thought about what you were going to say, what you were going to do before you did. And I'm also getting from Spirit or from you. I'm hearing, but did they do the same for you? And the answer is no. So you actually gave more consideration to these past experiences than they gave to you. And so where most people don't feel regret, you do. And this is like a double-edged sword. You act on what you feel like you should be doing. Again, we have swords. Swords, 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 swords. There's so many swords here. You act on what you think and know that you should be doing. But at the same time, there's always like this like feeling deep down inside of like, did I hurt them? Did I maybe make them go back into their shell because of it? Did I, fill in the blank? Whatever it is. In the end, though, it seems like you need to keep reminding yourself that it's like you're always doing your best. You're shining your brightest. You're trying to be an example to people of what it looks like to be powerful, to encompass all the abundance that you could possibly encompass. Sorry about that. I probably hit my mic. But you're trying to be this person that you're trying to be like an exemplary person. I don't know why I get that, but it's like you're trying to be this person people can look up to. And that comes with a lot of criticism from other people specifically. So I think right now the choice that you're struggling with is how to fully embody this person that you are without feeling guilt, so that you can get into flow state. Because this Wheel of Fortune, it's a completion, but it's almost like you can't receive this completion until you accept certain things, which is that you can't control how other people will receive what you have to say. That's on them, and that's on their own personal development. They can either get the message or they can miss the ride. It's a decision. And the fact that this is right beside the Chariot, it's like you chose to move forward. We get 2 10s here. The 10 on the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Swords. You've chosen to complete certain things in your life. You've chosen to do the things that your spirit is calling out for you to do, to pack up your bags and to move to different ways of thinking, to different locations, to different aspirations, to different skills. You've moved on to different versions of yourself. I get that you're like a master of change. You're an alchemist with this salamander here. It's like you go through the fire, and it's almost giving me like rising phoenix. Like the phoenix, the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's you. And I feel like you're kind of like looking back at these people that don't quite measure up because they've decided not to. They've decided not to follow their intuition. They've decided not to do the difficult things that you have done. Because the things that you've done are extremely difficult. There are things that, I would say, the things that you've decided to do in your lifetime are the most challenging things that people could do, which is to follow your intuition, because your intuition doesn't always look the best to people. Following intuitive nudges sometimes looks really naive, looks really harsh or stupid sometimes. Sometimes it does come out good, and other times it almost feels like a slight. It completely depends on who's watching you. But I can guarantee you that the people that are watching you develop, who have some sort of higher sense of what it is that you're doing, who have gone through the journey, they see that there is some sort of method to the madness, and they admire you for it. And you're kind of in this in-between phase right now, where you're in like a desert, and you're traveling in between to go to a different destination. So what is the advice here from Spirit? We have the 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. And we also have the King of Swords. The 10 of Wands. See, this guy's traveling, and this isn't a desert, but it's pretty barren. It's just the sun, a path, and he doesn't really have any food on him. He's just carrying baggage. He's carrying baggage. And in the original Rider-Waite version of this one, he's got the wands in front of him, and they're blocking his view. In this one, they're on his back. It's very heavy. He can't travel very fast. It's almost like it's keeping him asleep. He's asleep to some sort of and the Four of Swords, this guy's asleep too. He's asleep to something that his intuition is trying to tell him. That there's joy in letting go of past pain, past baggage, to move on to happier days. That you won't have to always have your sword drawn. When you decide to intuitively step into your intuition, again, because you keep doing that. So this time it's asking you to let go of all of these things that maybe you could be really invested in something, very like passionately invested in something, but it feels heavy. Every time you go to pick it up, it feels very heavy. Every time you think about it, it feels very heavy. And so it needs to go through this period of transformation. Just like the phoenix rising from the ashes. You need to take it through that fire in order to transform it, to learn what you need to learn, and turn it into a source of joy. So that you no longer have to feel like you have to fight for it. So this could be calling for simplifying. Why do I feel this way? It's all too much, which makes sense, and I can't make you happy. Yeah. Whatever it is that you're investing in right now that's making you feel very heavy, really take some time. Because this guy's walking through the desert. So it's almost like... And this guy here, the Four of Swords, he's sitting with his intuition. So I know, like, people always say meditate, but, like, I mean, that can take so many forms. You could spend more time by yourself. You could spend more time doing something that you used to really do. Like, maybe you used to, like, color a lot. Maybe you have, like, a favorite coloring book where you just sit there and fill in spaces. Maybe you used to bike ride. Like, I'm missing ride. I don't know why I get that. There's some sort of need to create space so that you can reflect on why you feel this way, how to make it feel like simple. Because right now something is too much. Something is too much right now. And it can't make you happy the way that it is right now. So I'm actually curious about this. I'm going to grab my deck and I'm going to ask more about what this thing is. What is this thing that feels all too much for my pile number 2s? What is this thing that feels like it's too much for my pile number 2s? Okay. This is something physical, and I did get that sense that it was some sort of project that you're investing emotionally in, that you're doing during a time where it's almost to solve some sort of chaos that's in your life, or it feels like a platform that maybe it's like a specific like social media platform that you're investing in a little bit at a time and learning about. But it's almost like you're going at it too hard in the beginning and you're missing what it was, like what the reason was, like why you started to begin with. Again, we get the Queen of Swords. The Fool. So we got 2 Queen of Swords. 2 of Cups. One more, please, Spirit. you're having to, like we said, you have to simplify some part of this that drains you emotionally because you're constantly having to think about it too much. So this is about creating, simple methods that you can follow day to day that feel very happy. And instead of drawing on your ego, Spirit wants you to draw on that side of yourself that feels free. So if something is making you feel trapped, maybe it's time to think about it. Maybe it's not actually making you feel trapped. Maybe there's some part of you that you have to heal, hence the baggage. It's like you could need to heal some sort of emotional baggage before you're able to fully tap into what it is that you need in this new project, in this thing that you're investing in. And until you do, it's going to, until you take that time to pause and reflect, it's going to keep feeling like something that's taking from you, or something that you're tempted to not act on your character with. There's something about being true to yourself here. You could be placing a lot of high expectations on yourself at this time. And Spirit wants you to stop doing that because it's really draining you. It's draining you, and this is supposed to be something that feeds you. It feeds you, and it does take you out of this chaotic state. It takes you out of this incredibly terrifying energy that you've been in the past. Physical disability. Yes, you could be, you could have some sort of earthly, some sort of, I don't know why I was thinking impediment, but that's the same thing as, I think it's similar to saying disability, but it's something is keeping you back in the physical world. So this is probably money. If I were to put my guess out there that this is money, it could also be maybe the location that you're currently living in is not ideal. You just don't feel fully satisfied where you are. Whatever it is, there's something that's causing you to feel a blockage. And when things are complicated, I can't say it's not like we can't perform to our fullest, but there's definitely a need to simplify, because I don't know if you get overstimulated like me, but sometimes it's just a matter of kind of shifting our daily routines in order to kind of adjust to the amount of demands outside of you. So it's just taking that time to readjust the expectations that you put on yourself, and just relax. Just try to do one tiny thing at a time. And there's actually this quote that I have on my good morning ritual. It's something from Confucius, and he says something along the lines of, it doesn't matter how fast you're going as long as you don't stop. And I think that really applies to your situation here. And I want to tell you also, I can tell from this energy here that you are an overachiever. And it's okay that your situation right now is not ideal. You need to start being easier on yourself, expect less, and just give yourself tiny goals. Tiny goals, achieve them, give yourself a little pat on the back, and keep going. And you know what? Eventually, things will be okay. Eventually, you'll get to the other side of this energy. Because it does seem like things are turning in your favor here with Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing. And they'll change even faster when you start to accept that you might be getting in your own way right now because of how much pressure you're putting on yourself. And actually, the fastest way to achieve a goal is to go slow. Like that is absolutely it, because you will burn out, especially with the amount of emotional turmoil that's happening right now with your situation right now, whatever that looks like. Just focus on small goals. Break it up into steps. If you have ADHD or any kind of challenges of any kind, like, you really do need to adjust for that. Everybody is different. Everybody has their own way of working. Anyway, so that's all I got for you, pile number 2. Thank you for being here. And if you like the way I read, I also have private readings, and they will be in this format from now on, if you weren't here for pile 1. And if you also want to support me, you can watch the ads, which are going to be back up shortly. And also, I have a merch store now, so that's exciting. And if this is where I leave you, I hope you have a good morning, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye! Okay, pile number 3. You chose this little clip-on earring here. Very cute. I think I've yet to wear this one too. Put it right there. So, what choice are you struggling with right now? When I was looking at your cards, I got that it has something to do with ingrained thoughts from possibly childhood, because we did get a double confirmation here of like your child self, maybe a memory. Maybe you have very fond memories of your childhood, and there's something here about like generations, something being passed on for generations and generations, and whether or not you're choosing to claim that right now, because it's up to you. You've got this inheritance from the past, and there are three different like celestial, and it's weird because you did choose this one, and I did say that this one almost feels like a celestial piece. And this one has a lot of emphasis on like celestial bodies. And celestial bodies have a lot of energy, and they influence how we experience the world, the things that like when there's a full moon, people kind of act a little off. And this almost gives me the feeling of like maybe like a really influential figure in your life. Maybe there's somebody that was very influential in the past, and now their influence is, you're kind of questioning it. So you're struggling with this, with having to put more importance on what it is that you think is right versus what it is that somebody else thinks is right. Possibly a mother figure or a father figure. Because I do feel like there's an emphasis on the moon, and the moon is feminine. 6 and 8 is like 2 minus 8 is 6. But you're no longer stuck in the 6. You're moving on to the 8. You're moving on from the 8 to a 9. Because that's the next one, the 9 of Cups. You're not stuck in this past self, in this past way of thinking that maybe has been projected onto you, that has kept you stuck and blind to the world. It's kept you very sheltered. You could come from a very sheltered family. What I did get a little earlier is that you could be in your early 20s, or maybe you're just maturing right now in a very specific way where it's like you're realizing that you can have ideas and concepts about the world that are separate from your family or from the people that raised you, that you consider family. But also that you're allowed to go on adventures. You're allowed to see the world. And keeping you stuck here, or keeping yourself stuck, is not doing you any good. So you're struggling with stepping outside of your comfort zone, is really what I'm getting from all of this. Stepping outside of your comfort zone has a lot to do for you with this psychological conditioning of seeing the world as a dangerous place. But that comes from this feeling of fear, this conditioning of if you stay at home, you're safe and provided for, and nothing can ever go wrong. So I definitely get a very sheltered feeling here. Staying up in your tower, making sure you don't go out into the waters because who knows what's in the waters. Making sure you don't travel into the unknown landscape. And you know what? This could also be internal landscape. This could be a terror, a terrifying feeling that a lot of people in your family have around exploring yourself, around expressing yourself. Because God forbid you become somebody that they don't understand, because it's true to who you are. And when you walk away from I'm getting a lot of walking away from a pack. This one specifically, I think that was pile number 2. Pile number 2, I'm pretty sure, was the wolf. Yes, so the pile number 2, if you feel like this resonates with you and you want to go watch pile number 2, I would definitely recommend it, because this feels like a similar energy. But still different. I feel like you're a little more on the beginning end of your exploration of who it is that you could be without this influence from your past that wants to keep you the same. So what guidance does Spirit have for you? You come up as very confident already. You got the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands does things because she likes to do them. She's not doing things to impress people. She wears this flower crown because she enjoys it. she has this pet cat, regardless of if somebody in her family doesn't like cats, or if, but then at the same time, like, she wears her heritage, her past, as like a symbol of how far she's come. Like, she's not doing any of this in like a malicious way. She's embracing her past, the things that she loves about her past, and she's very grateful for it. So this is how Spirit sees you. Spirit sees you in this way. So the advice here is to be proud of how far you've come. Because although it can be very difficult to do this final step of really deciding that you're no longer going to accept certain kinds of advice from past people, it is key to helping you to level up. And in order for you to take up this seat that you have, that's rightfully yours. You deserve to be this independent person, to be this incredibly knowledgeable, wise counsel. You're meant to be somebody who people can look up to and ask the advice of. And you shouldn't have to hold back and worry about saying the wrong thing because someone from your past is going to judge who you've become. That's just not, it's not aligned with this new person that you are. And you need to let that die. You need to let that old person die. And when I see flowers, I also think about the fact that, like, we put those down at someone's grave as a way to honor them and, in my eyes, remember their beauty. In my eyes, to like honor the life that they had. And this might be a time of mourning for you in that way, where it's like you almost have to bury this old person that you used to be. And stand proudly in front of them, in front of who they were, and look at them and really reflect on how they would look up to you right now. If they saw you, if you saw yourself as you are now, think about how proud you would be. So I'm going to take now a moment to give you a few cards. These are from the Lover's Oracle deck. And I like to take these out because we have a relationship with ourselves in this situation. And I think that it's also to this situation that's happening right now, this transformation. And this is going to tell us a little bit more about that, the types of feelings and the things that we're thinking at this time. So, why do I feel so lost? You're too nice. I don't deserve your kindness. I'm afraid to lose you. I can't promise you anything. I'm scared of rejection. And I am the man. I feel like this is that side of yourself that's like, I can do anything. And it's this motivation that you're feeling to go towards this person that you are at your core. And you could have some sort of fear of rejection because of the fact that a lot of people from your past expect you to be a certain way, and they've shown you a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance in losing this old person that they used to know. Because if they lose that old person that they used to know, then maybe you won't like them because you're too nice. Maybe you won't like them because they won't like you. Put plainly, maybe they won't like you, and they realize that you won't put up with that. Why do I feel so lost? I think right now is definitely a time to reflect on how far you've come, but also to allow the pain of these relationships that are going to fall away. I don't know why I get this like thought about a rocket blasting off. I feel like this is something I heard of a little while ago. But it's like when a rocket is blasting off, it has like parts of it that like fall off. And that's what I feel like is happening for you. You're blasting off, and it's like you're not quite in space just yet, but you have like parts of you that are falling away, and they have to fall away in order for you to propel upwards into your destination, into space. So, okay, so I really want to know what do I want to know? I want to know if you have any specific advice for my collective here to help them during the time where they feel lost. Got 3 cards here. Remember your value is what I got when I pulled these. You got the 8 of Swords, so you could be feeling very trapped right now. Or other people feel very trapped when they see you succeeding. And they don't realize that they're trapped by their own mind. I feel like that's more so what it is. And again, okay, this is the same message I got with pile number 2. That you feel kind of guilty in succeeding. And this is the same card that popped out, and it was the same message. It's like you almost feel guilty for succeeding. For putting in all this hard work and succeeding. Which is silly when you think about it and you say it out loud, right? It's like, oh, I feel so bad that I put in all that hard work. But a farmer would never feel guilty for sowing seeds, taking care of the crop, pulling all those weeds. I think it has everything to do with how society sees certain things. I think that it's a lot harder to... there's going to be jealousy no matter what. No matter what you do and succeed at, there will always be people out there that go, yeah, it must be nice. Like, oh, you worked so hard to get that thing. Well, it must be nice. And then they'll give you an excuse as to why they can't have it. But that's just their own thoughts, because they've given themselves this illusion of, I can't get there because of blank. And those are just excuses that they've had ingrained in their mind because of the people around them. Like, we're conditioned by our society. But when you go back to thinking of like when you were a kid, anything felt possible. It's only when we start to enter into the world that we start to feel so lost and confused, and we get conditioned to feel like there are only certain things that we can achieve and then other things we can't. But I have met people, and I'm sure you've met people like this too, that can succeed, like they can turn dust to gold. Is that the expression? Where you can turn anything into gold. And I feel like this is you. You're one of those people where it's like you're showing people, you're being this example. And Spirit wants you to keep doing this. You're being this example that you don't have to create money. It's like, it takes money to make money is an expression that keeps people trapped. And I hate that expression so much. And hate is a strong word, but it's just like, it's one of those expressions that I take off the table. And I really think that there are a lot of really damaging expressions that are repeated throughout society. And so when you repeat something, it's accepted as true. That's the truth about a lot of things. So be careful with what you repeat and then what other people repeat. If other people are repeating something, you have to question it. You have to put it through a filter of questioning. Is this true? Well, does it, if it feels true, why does it feel true? Is it based on anything? And if it is based on something, is there a way around it? Like, is there a way around it? Because also understand that there are people out there that their sole purpose in life is to manipulate others because that's their job. That's either their job or they're getting something out of it. So I don't know why I'm going down that tangent. Maybe this is what you're going to be helping people with. You're going to be helping people get out of some sort of toxic way of thinking that keeps them trapped if they accept going down that road. So that's kind of interesting that I'm getting that message out of this. I actually got quite a bit from this reading. It's weird that I'm taking it down this road. It's almost like you have like a really huge purpose here on this planet. Almost. I definitely feel like you do. You have a very huge purpose on this planet. You're shifting a mindset that people have about success. And that anyone can have success. And that it can be simple. It can be simple, and depending on who you are, you can tailor it. And for some reason, I almost get also the idea of using AI. Why do I get the idea of AI? I don't know why that popped in my head. Could you tell me more about that? I feel like this reading is longer than the other ones. But that's okay. It's meant to happen. Okay, so I'm going to pop these up here. Got the Chariot, Page of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. You remember what it feels like. This is a thing. You're like, I don't know if you guys have heard of Gary Vee. Maybe you don't like him, but I'm a fan of what he talks about. He has this approach of like humbleness, but also never forgetting his story and how he got to where he is. And the fact that it was largely a mentality thing rather than being given anything. It's like it was this journey from from not knowing really much to slowly investing in yourself in ways that you can, in exploring yourself, like investing in self-exploration and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations in order to, and like really diving into them, not being swallowed up in them, but feeling the waves, feeling the discomfort, feeling the emotions, standing in them, knee deep in the mud, and exploring it and not demonizing it. This is something that you've done in this lifetime that you're being asked to continue doing because it's taking you down a really incredible path that is your purpose here on this planet, to just tell people your experience. Because when you think about it, everyone's purpose here on this planet is to just exist, to experience life, and to say yes to life. Because when you say yes to life and you follow your intuition, you experience the things that you're supposed to experience for your highest good. And that gives you something to share to other people, because you're not supposed to exist in a vacuum. Anyway, this is really cool. I don't know if this helped at all, but I hope it did. And if you like the way I read, I am very grateful that you were here. And if you like the way I read, like I said, I'm going to have also personal readings open. It's down in the description. I have my email, and you can contact me and I can send you some rates. And if you just want to support me in some small way, just watch the ads that will be up on this reading soon. And I also have a merch store available online. There's some like cool merch. I actually took the time to take some of my old artwork and pop it on there so that it's really nice. And I also found a merch store that was high quality rather than just being like a whatever store, because I wouldn't want to buy that. It just turns into like garbage, right? Anyway, thank you for watching this reading, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!